Hi guys and welcome back to Inquisitive Thinking. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. This is part 3 of our quadratic equation series. So if you are new to this channel, please make sure to watch part 1 and part 2. In today's video, we are going to cover following topics. First is deriving quadratic formula. Second is discriminant of a quadratic equation. Third is nature of roots. And fourth, graphical meaning of discriminant of a quadratic equation. Before we start, there are two prerequisites. First is your writing material, just in case you find something important and want to write it down and solve the questions alongside, which is highly advisable. And second thing is, please stay distraction free for next 30 minutes. If you are ready, then let us start. Our first topic is deriving quadratic formula. We know the general expression of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, which can also be rewritten as x plus b by 2a whole square minus b by 2a whole square plus c upon a is equal to 0. How did we get to this equation? The visual proof of this has already been done in part 2, which is nothing but completing the square. So make sure to watch part 2. Now, continuing with this equation, which is obtained by completing the square, I'll do some simple manipulation to get to quadratic formula. At first, I'll take both of these constant terms on right hand side and write the equation like this. And after that, I'll expand the bracket. B upon 2a whole square will be written as b square upon 4a square. And then the whole equation remains the same. And in the next step, I'll take LCM of the denominators on the right hand side of this equation. And then write the right hand side as b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. In the next step, I'll take square root on both sides, such that the left hand side becomes x plus b by 2a and right hand side becomes plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. So the right hand side can also be written as plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now I'll take this b upon 2a and shift it on the right hand side of this equation and rewrite the equation as minus b upon 2a plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. And in the next step, I'll again take the LCM of the denominators on the right hand side and write this equation like this, which is actually our quadratic formula. So quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. From here, we get two values of x. First is x is equal to minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and second is x is equal to minus b minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Now we are coming to our second topic, that is discriminant of a quadratic equation. In our quadratic formula, the quantity b square minus 4ac, that is in the under root, is called the discriminant of a quadratic equation, which is denoted by capital D. So we'll write it as d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Now why this quantity is called discriminant? We'll get back to it later. Our third topic is nature of roots. On the right hand side, we have got b square minus 4ac. So unless and until we have a definite value of a, b and c, we cannot say for sure what will be the value of d. D can either be negative, positive or 0. So we'll take three cases. First, d greater than 0. In second case, d is equal to 0. And in third case, d is less than 0. It means negative. So d can either be positive, can be equal to 0, or can also be negative. Now we're talking about a first case where d is greater than 0. It means b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. In this case, the roots become minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, and second minus b minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. From here we can say that for our given quadratic equation, we have two real and distinct roots. One more simple thing is also worth noticing, that in this case b square is greater than 4ac. How? Just look at this expression, you'll get to know. Our second case is d is equal to 0. It means b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So the roots in this case become x is equal to minus b plus under root 0 upon 2a, that is minus b upon 2a, and again minus b upon 2a. So in this case we have two real and equal roots of the quadratic equation. Again, in this case b square is equal to 4ac. Our third case is where d is less than 0. It means our discriminant is negative. You can also say that b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Okay, now let us suppose this quantity under root of b square minus 4ac is equal to m, which is some real number. On squaring both sides of this equation, we have b square minus 4ac is equal to m square. Now we also know that b square minus 4ac is our discriminant. It means d is equal to m square. Now d in this case is less than 0. It means negative. So this expression here implies that m square is also less than 0. But wait a minute. There is no real number whose square is less than 0. It means negative. So our previous question, why b square minus 4ac is called discriminant? It is called discriminant because discriminant helps to discriminate between the nature of roots of a quadratic equation. In this box, there are three cases. I have illustrated all these three cases and their respective properties. If d is greater than 0, it means b square is greater than 4ac and we'll have two real and distinct roots. If d is equal to 0, then first thing we can say is b square is equal to 4ac and we have two real and equal roots. In the third case, if d is less than 0, it means negative. We'll say that b square is less than 4ac and we'll have no real roots. So as of now, we have accomplished the relationship between the nature of roots and discriminant of the quadratic equation. Our next topic is graphical meaning of discriminant of a quadratic equation. Please notice that there is no need to draw graphs of quadratic equation in this section. So our first question is 3x square plus x minus 10 is equal to 0. Here a, b and c are 3, 1 and minus 10 respectively. So if I put these values in the quadratic formula, I'll have x is equal to minus 1 plus minus under root of 121 upon 2 into 3. So from this we'll have first root x is equal to minus 1 plus 11 upon 2 into 3, that boils down to 5 by 3, and next root x is equal to minus 1 minus 11 upon 2 by 3, that is equal to minus 2. So we can say that the above equation has two real and distinct roots, obviously 5 by 3 and minus 2. Okay, in case we just need to determine the nature of roots, we should just look at the value of discriminant. If somebody is asking you to just determine the nature of roots, whether they are real or not, if they are, then are they equal or distinct, then we should just look at the value of discriminant. Here b square minus 4ac is equal to 121, which is obviously greater than 0. So the above equation has two real and distinct roots. Here b square is greater than 4ac. Our second equation is x square minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 0. So upon inspection, a, b and c are 1, minus 10 and 25 respectively. Now before finding the roots, let us do a quick check about their nature. If you calculate the discriminant, that will be equal to 0 in this case. Since discriminant is equal to 0, the above quadratic equation has two real and equal roots. Please notice that b square here is equal to 4ac, that is 100 and 100. Now let us find the roots. If you put the values of a, b and c in quadratic formula, upon further solving, the right hand side will reduce to 10 plus minus under root of 0 upon 2 into 1. And in both cases x is coming out to be 5. So we can say that the above equation has two real and equal roots, 5 and 5. A third example is 4x square plus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. Again, upon inspection we can see that a, b and c are 4, 8 and 15 respectively. Let us first determine the nature of roots. Then after that, if the real root exists, then we can move ahead and find the roots using quadratic formula. Here d is equal to minus 176, which is obviously less than 0. And we know that if discriminant is less than 0, the equation has no real roots. So we'll say that there is no real value of x that can satisfy the given equation. The above equation has no real roots. Here b square is obviously less than 4ac. Now if I take all the previous 3 examples and put them side by side, we'll see that our first example was a case where discriminant was greater than 0 and we got 2 real and distinct roots. In the second example, the discriminant was equal to 0 and we got 2 real and equal roots. And we got 2 real and equal roots. And in third case, discriminant was less than 0, it means negative. So we had no real roots. So here are the respective graphs of all the corresponding quadratic polynomials. First graph is of quadratic polynomial 3x square plus x minus 10. But we have to focus on these 2 points where the graph is intersecting the x-axis. You'll see that there are 2 distinct points, and in this case we had 2 real and distinct roots. Coming on to a second graph, that is the representation of a quadratic polynomial x square minus 10x plus 25. This graph is uniquely intersecting x-axis at a point 5, 0. It means the corresponding quadratic equation has 2 real and equal roots, which are 5 and 5. Now moving on to a third graph, that is a representation of quadratic polynomial 4x square plus 8x plus 15. You see, this graph is not touching x-axis at any point. It means there is no real value of x that can satisfy this quadratic equation. So guys, this is all for now. We have completed our topic of quadratic equations. In the next video, we are going to talk about how to solve word problems that involves quadratic equations. So make sure to solve as many questions as possible. If you got to learn something new today, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. We will meet in the next video where we will discuss about the methods for solving word problems that involves quadratic equations. Till then, keep solving as many questions as possible and stay inquisitive. I'll meet you in the next one.